the blue, KAYDOP in the orange. Just as you said, Danny, who wants it more today?
Certainly. When you feast at the top end of the table, you do not argue over the scraps. You are looking for luxury. And KAYDOP is certainly trying to show that the crown is there here. Will it be, of course, too heavy to wear for the others here, as Noah not used to having it. REZEARS not used to having it. LUIISP not used to having the world champion of many years. Looking to show that he has still got it, of course, here, and he has barely been onto the ball here. This is his first real contribution to the game, and it is a defensive one.
Yeah, very, very controlled at the moment for KAYDOP. They're just trying to methodically work this ball out of defence, but LUIISP is going to try and spew a ball in field, but immediately blocked away there.
Noah, KAYDOP, beaten past here. It is the young Frenchman himself here, RYSFOX, with his particular involvement here. Not good enough, and it will require a triple man save there. It is, of course, KAYDOP shots being tested, and that is how much respect he controls on the pitch, even though many would say he doesn't have it anymore. Foolish of an opinion at that.
Absolutely, and maybe a foolish mistake from CHAUSETTE there, but unpunished it was, as that side flip could have caused a bit of havoc to the defence, but nobody was expecting it, as now LUIISP is going to throw the ball back in field. REZEARS is just waiting by the wayside for that ball to drop down, a shot just above the crossbar. NOAHSAKI back down, but still it's kept away for the time being.
What has barely even been mentioned in terms of that, these teams have went basically 3-0 all the way through, bar one blip, of course, in the side in blue. And LUIISP, who Spooks was salvating, and salvation was being put across his name. Well, he has had a potential goal-scoring opportunity cut out there. So just like this here, both sides had opportunities. Both sides still find them goalless, however. We talk about top-quality matches here. We wanted the Rendez-Vous to show and animate that, as, of course, the tournament sponsored by Celtics, putting the time, the investment within the scene itself here, the European region, showing exactly why nothing is guaranteed. We play every match out, and it gives us the best surprises.
No. A little bit of a surprise in the fact that that shot was not registered, and now there is an immediate counter-attack. CHAUSETTE is going to try and quickly drop this one down, but there's 3 blue players already scarpered into this back corner to try and see this ball away.
CHAUSETTE forced to, once again, slow the game down. Noah, not a fan of that. REZEARS waits LUIISP behind, no touch by the former major champion, of course. European champion, LUIISP, up it goes, blocked, is there a follow? Yes there is, and it's big man himself, Noah, who will have the opening.
High quality and high stakes from LUIISP has pretty much just been the mark he's left on this competition, and NOAHSAKI was just perfectly positioned to deal with what he really expected from that front man.
That is the first goal. Potentially, we may only have 6 others tonight here. We have already saw a perfect series itself here, and it is the side in blue that led that particular charge in the quarter-final. Of course, you can watch that on Twitch here or on YouTube at your own leisure, at work, at home, or even at school if you feel naughty and bold here. But CHAUSETTE looking to maybe teach a lesson to the youngster here.
Now REZEARS with an immediate counter chance. He's just going to hoof it downfield. The ball is just going to tantalisingly wait in the midfield zone for another shot to come through. Possession still recycling nicely for this blue side at the moment. LUIISP with a nice interception, and NOAHSAKI is already there to drop it back down. Swift interplay between these players.
That's a goal already. You talk about swiftly done. 2-0.
2-0, it's as simple as that. That's how it looked, but it's all REZEARS' hard work. Off of that sidewall, he's just baiting in that last defender for that final touch.
72 seconds, find a goal, and you would expect the all-French roster, the all-time leaders somewhat, to have some kind of response. They have not dropped the game. Let's not forget this either. This is unusual territory for them tonight.
And that is an impeccably placed pass. It has to be said, and it's LUIISP. At this point, it's not even a surprise. That man can do it all.
I'll even raise a better question. Who can do it better?
I think LUIISP.
LUIISP versus LUIISP versus LUIISP. If there was a team of LUIISPs, it may be LUIISP's time to shine here. It has been through the entirety of the night. It's a shame we don't give MVP awards, but that's how stellar he's been. And KAYDOP with one save away there from preventing 4-0.
A nice back pass just to keep the pressure rolling around, and there is that man again, who's just booted it over to the backboard. Nice high touch there from REZEARS, but there isn't going to be an immediate follow-up, but it does not matter because this defense needs to break free to even have a sniff of what the blue territory looks like.
The fact that we were sat there and can even say that as a sentence just shows you how polarizing the one-sided output it has been. There it is, goal number 4. We're just waiting for the goal itself, and it is merely a flesh wound in terms of the grand scheme of things. The damage was already done. 1-0 in the series itself, 4-0 at the output, and you have to give credit here to the likes of NOAHSAKI and REZEARS to even stick a performance like that on the first opening game here.
It's pure confidence, and it's just translated from those previous series we saw. They've gone from strength to strength. That perfect sweep they delivered to us in the semi-finals is nothing short of remarkable, and to translate that sort of just grip you have on your opposition, to keep that possession flowing and craft those opportunities through, well, just sheer willpower alone is, I think, what's given RYSFOX so much success.
And even when you look at it from a statistical side, you would suggest here on the numbers that the match was actually closer than it was. At one point, I would say, yes, it was, until goal 1, 2, and 3 happened to follow suit. But it's whether, of course, we'll be flushed out with another perfect sweep or a sweep itself here. I would hate to say how that's the last grand final the Rendezvous ends. It is up to, of course, Mr. 3-time to find an answer.
Yeah, but what a statement it would be as well. Just think about the sort of mark it would leave RYSFOX on the European scene at the moment. All 3 of these players, there doesn't really need much conversation. They are top class. They are RLCS caliber players who have been there and done it before of recent times. They are against legacy players, legacy talent, and they do not go down without a fight.
And to an extent here, to be bold as well, we have legacy and newer in terms of the talent in the booth here. The only problem is we're not as even decorated to even shine a light to them. But will REZEARS be a beacon of hope here? Oh. Not necessarily so, but REZEARS, CHAUSETTE and KAYDOP, well, they need more than even a lighthouse. They need a keeper. Oh. They need also a goal scorer. And KAYDOP at least gets one avenue. REZEARS, well, he just watches LUIISP gets that clear away here. We're just seeing everybody else, mind you, not necessarily very convincingly, shall we say, get this ball away.
And LUIISP is just going to slow down this play, but wow, quick thinking from RYSFOX to get a demo through. A nice touch goes high, and NOAHSAKI is forced to throw this all the way back into his own corner, but still the pressure keeps coming.
LUIISP, KAYDOP. There's CHAUSETTE with no boost. Will elect, of course, to go for the challenge. Rather have, of course, the ball when you've been, shall we say, pushed around quite comfortably. The ball's more important, and he has at least got eventually back downfield in the right hand side, of course, the blue side of the pitch here. CHAUSETTE with no double. KAYDOP and RYSFOX, of course, hopefully a pass across the pitch, but again in the wrong position in the here, and KAYDOP very smartly uses the wall here. 90 seconds gone by. Ooh. Opportunities gone by, but no goal has gone by either.
And that was so close for this side in blue to take yet another big advantage, not just in this game, but it would have been in the series as well if they put away that first goal. Not meant to be on that occasion. REZEARS now is going to find this ball infield. NOAHSAKI waiting. There's another chance for LUIISP to find a player in blue. He's just scrambling to try and get a touch down as this ball still in orange territory.
KAYDOP beaten, but had to go for it. CHAUSETTE gets a good enough challenge. That's an excellent demo. And the former major, the world champion, gets a save. And Iran, who got demoed, who may have been the one who caused the issue, gets away with it. Another save follows suit here. Noah gets a block here. This is the grand final, ladies and gentlemen. We said it should be getting a bit more, shall we say, the RLCS level. well, we might be talking much more than just that.
Here is the preview of what's maybe to come in the future months. Can you imagine seeing these exact lineups as we see them, as we know them right now, fighting it out with potentially even bigger stakes? And it's just minutes of game time and passages of play like that which really make you think it could be possible. As now REZEARS is going to try to throw a ball infield. LUIISP with the double. He's got it down. Hammered beneath the final keeper. That is a way to put an opener in.
And let's put it as well too. So Set was down and RYSFOX went high up. A window. Big gap at that too. He found it. And just like that, all the hard effort off the saves. Yes, valiant effort, but it only matters if you can get the goal right back on the other end. KAYDOP tried to do it. Failed to get the resulting factor of 1-1. That has not been achieved off the back wall. Noah, and that's a vital bump as well too. So Set been taking this one. He's actively trying to get this one downfield here. It's no longer the case here they're sitting back and playing for their opportunity. They have to attack for it.
Attacking forwards is NOAHSAKI, lunging for a bump, and LUIISP is going to filter through and do exactly the same thing. Now a chance, well, really for a counter-attack. LUIISP is beaten out through the skies, and as this ball just sort of lingers in this back corner, it's growing even higher chances for this orange team to maybe find something of their own.
Good strong challenge. KAYDOP presented with one of his own here. How does he get assigned back into? They lost 4-0 last time. They're trailing by 1 and it cascaded all the way down with nothing to show for it here, and they will have nothing in terms of their effort either here. You do not win by a goal aggregate type situation. It is the games that resets at 5. Will be 2-0 down here, and of course that's the luxury of the best of 7. They have time. Do not want to give a 2-game advantage at that.
CHAUSETTE. We know that electric pace that can come from that particular Frenchman that he's been so known for, those dribble plays. But he's just hunting to see this ball, and that's a little bit of a mistouch. It's made it awkward. LUIISP on the ball now. Maybe a chance to fake through this last defender. He's pushed it infield. NOAHSAKI above the crossbar, and somehow that ball has not trickled in.
There was mistakes all the way around by the French lineup. The rocket begins probably tutty, to say the least of it. So Set, blocked it goes. Is there hurrah? Well, it is, or the RYSFOX shot! And the trail of blue! If the game was cruel, it would be registered as an own goal, but it doesn't matter. Clarity, parity, it is, of course. Game back on.
Well and truly back on, and that territory all over on the left-hand side of the field was purely dominated by that orange attack. With 4 seconds left, they were throwing all the numbers they could downfield, and they're in with a chance of taking this game and fighting back for the greater good. We do see overtime in game 2, Danny. It's getting a little bit tense, I feel.
Itself, yes, Set moves in. Decided to leave as well too here. Shot goes and KAYDOP, well, he has pushed it away here. REZEARS moves into it, and just like that, Noah follows suit here. And unfortunately, this is now very kindly getting even scrappier by the second here, and it is desperate play, and by that simply you just see this one-touch approach here, and it's just being walloped around.
RYSFOX is going to shy away from making that 50-50 smartly, so as the possession just rolled straight into his favour. A shot from KAYDOP, but LUIISP has just got the goal and more covered, it seems, all the way through to his own back corner. Was covered by that massive Fennec of his. There's now KAYDOP with a pinch down off the ceiling. RYSFOX infield. CHAUSETTE, 1-foot reset isn't good enough to best the defender.
Set moves across here, pops it into the middle, and that shoot, and rightly so, the French, well, at least tie the series back up.
What a way to do it as well. REZEARS, he thought the coverage was all there. He thought that backboard is mine. That's mine to play with. It wasn't, because that touch from CHAUSETTE nobody saw coming.
I don't think anybody expected that slippery in terms of the ball was. It was frankly a scenario that you could have thought, well, it's preventable. It should have a fair enough save to it, and I would argue to an extent here, yes, KAYDOP itself in terms of the roster was the better side over 5 minutes, but the longer the game went, no, it became loose at times.
Yeah, and it was that big mistake with 4 seconds left. We didn't actually touch on what happened to the defense because it seems almost cruel and hard to even mention it, but 2 players just lobbed themselves forward to try and pre-jump one of those touches forwards from the KAYDOP side, and it gave way to all that space we saw on the far left of the field. That tiny bit of almost indecision, or lack of calm, rather, I should say, from RYSFOX was seriously punishing.
Hopefully they will find a way to at least expand in terms of dishing out. The other side of the coin is how do you prevent it? And that was a question that, fortunately, in our semi-final, that was dominated at one side here by Lex and REZEARS and LUIISP to how do you continue? How do that develop? Well, thankfully, we have 2 games here. We've seen a very strong performance. Now we've seen the shakes, the nerves. Should be settled down by now. Game 3 underway.
Anyone to play for right now. Immediately off kickoff. The only team that seems to be playing ball at the moment is this side in orange once again. KAYDOP lobs the ball in field and RYSFOX tries to just bend low down the field there. Limboing past those last defenders, but, well, the calm certainly is being shown and displayed perfectly by RYSFOX at the moment.
REZEARS just saw a flash of orange, but not brilliance here. Noah, he's just given possession too cheaply. No boost on, of course, the left-hand side there. So it's frankly the rotation will just be a bit delayed here. We're actually seeing the effects of it here, where everything's either lumped or loose here. It is almost like boulders here. If you take a misstep here, everything will go tumbling down.
And tumbling down, this ball could go from KAYDOP, but it's blocked away by NOAHSAKI. Another chance over to the backboard, but well covered by the blue defense. Individual efforts have long been what this side and RYSFOX have been just cherishing to get their opportunities downfield, one after another, in just one big relentless train. And I think that solo play vigor might be the difference for them that they could make.
Set. Nice ball. That's inviting. Unfortunately, it was an invitation that was rescinded, and that's a fabulous challenge, but a goal that has caused a reflection from it.
From one side all the way to the other, he's gone the distance. REZEARS is sort of that player we look forward to as being that playmaker, that person who's aggressively pushing downfields, making the most of the opportunities he can get his mitts on. But today, so far, it's all been LUIISP, and I've been wondering when that star in REZEARS might be able to shine yet again. And, well, he's put himself one step closer to doing that.
Set for KAYDOP pass. I've all been wondering who's going to show up here, and that's no take to the established. The ones that are finding their name is, of course, proving yourselves in these moments here. And REZEARS, who have done it time and time again, so set likewise in KAYDOP.
No way.
Oh, yes way.
You're cutting it a bit fine there, mate. It's a little bit dangerous. It could be even more so. NOAHSAKI off the ceiling with a reset, and another ball goes infield. REZEARS, you can tell he's just waiting to get that control to force it past at least one player, and smartly, KAYDOP are just going to wait for him.
Just like that, decent block. Shot, of course, could be there. Or two back, of course, here. You just know KAYDOP themselves here are just naturally sitting deeper due to the fact you can suggest that they don't have the pace. They might as well play positionally. It is actually costing them a time, so that's why they're not having that many opportunities in the grand scheme of things. Only 1 credit in terms of on target since that goal. They are facing 4 and have converted 1 here, and they continue to do pressure via Nola 2. Up it goes as LUIISP gets it past KAYDOP. Is anybody home? And of course, CHAUSETTE will get it away.
REZEARS back in the corner. One more touch. Oh, the bump on RYSFOX was looming. It was close, but it was not there. And LUIISP has to do it all by himself. He settles that ball down. He tries to base out those defenders. He doesn't rush it. What a touch that was, but oh, if only it was on target.
That's a funny thing about this game. It used to meant to be on target, and when you can't score, it becomes a bit of a problem, doesn't it?
It does, but maybe one off-target shot can lead to another which is on target, so it's worth it in the end, even if it doesn't quite play out your favour. It's a nice touch from RYSFOX. It's a little bit dangerous, though, because it gives a chance. NOAHSAKI over to the backboard, and you can see downfield the orange side certainly lurking.
Noah, REZEARS, with no idea here. Pop into the middle, not idea. It's a set. He has taken control, and that's what you have to say in terms of the experience here by, of course, Alexis CHAUSETTE and KAYDOP, that they're able to take the control and able to use it wisely. But when you do not punish, when you do not strike when the ammon's hot, you get conceded.
And I don't think the infield player for the orange side thought that ball was going to go quite as wayward as it did. The pass infield was just lofted straight high for a free clearance for RYSFOX. And the moment KAYDOP tried to implement that tiny bit of risk, they were punished.
Again, this is where, as you use the word legacy versus new era type players, that's the problem. You naturally will go for the pass, but the newer players will go for the solo play and try to drag and bait out here. And Spooks is a great fan of her using the phrase the eco challenge. That what's, of course, brought the dynamic of the game in the series in terms of the modern game, but certainly not modern in the form of KAYDOP. Trailing now the series 2-1 here. It's unlikely they will score 2 goals in any response here, and it'll just be another difficult day in the office.
It's not just difficult, it's laborious. It is just taking its sweet, sweet time at the moment for KAYDOP. And RYSFOX are back to leading the series at large once again. And REZEARS, he really did come through. He shone in that particular game. He was a player that, like I said, we were waiting to sort of, you know, pop out, show his face and say hello. And he did so there.
And when you occasionally just play sort of peekaboo, shall we say, for a lack of a better way of describing it, it's you know, how often can you get away with it? It's just annoying in terms of either convincingly you just show up at the right moment or not at all. And it's been so far in the grand scheme of things for KAYDOP, not at all here, even though they've got 8 saves so far in terms of the 2 most decorated players, you could argue at least one of them of all time.
Yeah, and it's unique. It's a unique position for them to be on, because when we look at a player like CHAUSETTE, we think pace, we think danger, we think dominating pressure, dominating possession, completely left behind.
Yeah, and the simplicity in terms of the problem is they're not generating enough on the offense, and when they are on the offense, it's becoming so predictable that the players of today's era, and let's be fair here, to maybe quote, there was a bit of a football reference earlier, I would go for the Jose here. This is heritage. The investments of the past as well here, and you can refer to like the LUIISP, REZEARS and Noah. Well, they've seen the dark ages, if you want to refer to the bygones of KAYDOP and CHAUSETTE's era, and they've brought it to a more explosive, to use Senko's own very word at the start of the series itself here, and they've continued to do so for 3 consecutive games in this grand final.
And there's still yet room for more things that really do just impresses. They make a change to the pace of the series. It's just one individual play which can make such a difference. As REZEARS tries to go for a corner read this time around, KAYDOP settling it straight into the midfield. He just wants to play for that 50, let those players behind him run on through, and it's worked for that particular moment, but the pace is something you still have to watch out for.
REZEARS continues, and this is a nice pop and move, and skittles along here, and LUIISP should have a double. Blocked by CHAUSETTE here. The ability to read the game has never been in question there. That's exactly why REZEARS one touch, and it will be RYSFOX once more, skipping along, trying to hustle his way through, and that's, in the grand scheme of things, a smart touch by Noah. Just kills the game somewhat, takes the sting out of it.
Yeah, pre-jumped up before the moment even happened itself. That's dangerous, and LUIISP is going to have to really struggle to, well, best 3 orange players, but he's done so. He's downfield into the opposition territory. Waits for RYSFOX to go. He's just rotating back, trying to figure out how to make that influence in the play once again.
Noah, REZEARS, KAYDOP has been so 1-2, 1-2. It has been so rhythmic-wise. It's this game itself here, before the goals are scored, and to use this not as an insult, but just shows you the quality of it. It's been basic. It's been boring, basic tackling. It is, I've got it, I'm doing this, and I'm being countered by this, and they're just doing it so very well here. That Coxer's Pentasego went no way to, has been the first sort of change of approach here, but it's such a game, an easy ability to read when there's no power, no threat. And we now past half-time with no goals either.
And I think one surefire way to see some motivation to make change would be one goal going the side of RYSFOX again, as now Noah has a chance to just get a glancing blow infield. Missed that time around. Maybe a follow-up from LUIISP. Double off the backboard, and KAYDOP just waiting long enough for that front post to see it wide.
So set on the other side here, strong presence, and ooh, if you get the right touch there, that goal would have appeared here. Double commit, RYSFOX and Susep, bit of a problem on who was going, and that's an excellent bump, but not far off the delivery. And KAYDOP, well, he has his, he's scuffed his lines here. Even the most decorated player on this pitch by some sizable, a titanic gap, even feels the pressure.
The pressure could yet sink even more danger towards this KAYDOP side. LUIISP going to try and do it all by himself, but that is a player you want to see in that sort of a situation. Of course, having a lot of one's background himself, and well, looking at someone like REZEARS as well, it's obvious that all three of these players know how to take control of a game all by themselves.
Fellow Silence sponsored tournament. Salt Mine 3, of course, the spearhead of the spiritual home of one Johnny Boy himself, and the father's head of productions normally here, Bonsoir, doing the broadcast of productions here. The likes of REZEARS on show here, and you see how well her system performed the pass buttons of Salt Mine 2, casting him there, where you don't really often see the likes of KAYDOP these days doing it. Or Surstep, again, used to be, and it is Noah who is currently is, and that is where we fear, where this game, where the old players cannot keep up.
What more can you say? There was a pace difference there. There was two orange players, and they were just taking their time back at that, well, camp in their own goal. They just could not rush out in time to best LUIISP, who was once again there when was needed. This is a chance. It's what a read it is, though, from NOAHSAKI. It is a chance. We'll still keep on coming. CHAUSETTE on target, just to the side, though. And oh my goodness, they can't catch a break.
And it is another set to pass, the post and clear. 10 odd seconds, the last roll and play here. KAYDOP, and it is 3 times champion of the world. The Frenchman who dominated the region and the world. Now looking to do it again, ties it up with 4 seconds left. There will be a lot of happy Frenchmen at the Rocket Baguette side, but they have not saw a victory in a while here. They have to, of course, convert in OT.
Well, they could just convert now. That's the other obvious choice, but it's going to be a lot of heavy lifting. CHAUSETTE downfield. It's actually wide open. It's gone through. CHAUSETTE45 has launched a ballistic shot across the entire distance.
An inter-ballistic missile. And it is an explosion of a sock. Well, he has blown the socks right off all of us here. And it is the 2 champions of Europe's past who is now haunting the current and won't go away.
It's very rare in situations like this you see a little bit of magic happen. And for KAYDOP, I am sure that is only going to make them fight even stronger from this point forwards. They know they can come back from the absolute brink of death, figuratively, in a series like this. RYSFOX, I think it's fair to say that entire game almost had such a strong grip on that KAYDOP side. Could have arguably been 2 or 3 goals to this blue side. They only found one, and when matters most, KAYDOP punched back.
Well, when you have the iron grip or the veil of the curtain to show and dictate here, and when you have the likes of LUIISP and the others dictating like puppeteers on the pitch, it's most of the game, you would have thought that this was going to be match and championship point. Far from it here, and once again that never give up attitude showing exactly why here, why that experience, essentially the virtual grey hairs showing its dignity and of course the expertise right to the top end of it. But let's not get carried away here with the whimsical. There is still battle on the pitch and a potential now of a best of 3. Who is going to grab, of course, this coveted title?
Well, maybe there's a chance and an argument. RYSFOX still to be the overwhelming favourites, and I know that that's maybe a dangerous thing to say given how the script has been completely flipped. Courtesy of those last 2 games, but it really has been last-second opportunities. How many chances can they be given, this KAYDOP side, and especially when you keep seeing attacks like this?
And when you just get beaten defensively, and it is a sidewall, it just shows you that unfortunately RYSFOX are not capable of maybe just slowing down and realising he just doesn't have to go for everything. But again, you can't blame him. These are the moments where you learn your craft, and again, when you have the likes of KAYDOP and CHAUSETTE in your rear, they know that that wasn't the big goal, but realistically, from a neutral's perspective, that is massive. This will change, unfortunately, now the tempo and the pace here. And CHAUSETTE and KAYDOP, you will see them play much more tighter, but the aggression will still be there to ramp up at the right time, though.
Absolutely. Doing things at the right time. It's absolutely crucial to highlight that, because we saw before they got a little bit too aggressive too early on in previous games and just let a few silly goals slip. But at the moment, still very much within their capabilities to find another CHAUSETTE through the skies. Now RYSFOX with 100 boost just to lace it back forwards.
Straight down. CHAUSETTE. We gets a good touch here. There is options, of course. RYSFOX will have to technically go solo here. CHAUSETTE will be having a shot here, and this is just merely putting pressure on for the sake of getting something on the board here. And the young man who got the 3 times world champion to pass to him felt like he may have taken a shot here, but blocked it goes. Likewise there. But they're now half a game to find something. It will be an unfortunate self-error there, and this is cruelty at its worst.
I mean, it's cruel and it's heartbreaking, but that is all LUIISP once again. He saw the space in the midfield and he thought, I'm just going to lay it down to myself. Maybe something will come from it. Even he didn't expect that.
I have been through him, but even fortuitous. You make your luck sometimes. When the game goes against you, you will feel like the world is constantly against you. KAYDOP over to RYSFOX. It will be a self-double, but again, the position of the, shall we say, the current rising top of Europe's best, showing exactly why you do not sit there and give them time and space on the ball.
NOAHSAKI has just tried to hoof it downfield. And maybe, just maybe, there could have been a blue player there to receive, but it was quite the opposite, as now he has a chance to go all by himself. It's going to go underneath CHAUSETTE, but he's still found a way into his own back corner.
RYSFOX strong 50. KAYDOP, well, he saw the net that is creeping on in, and there is a margin of hope gathering once again under these French sails, but unfortunately the ocean itself has a few nasty beasts who can drag them back down into it.
Hungry. Oh, this KAYDOP side. And I hate to say it once again, but RYSFOX, when it comes down to these latter stages of the games, they're crumbling. Absolutely crumbling. in some of these moments where you really shouldn't be allowing a goal to come forward. It's just a simple overstep by a matter of, well, some distance, as now LUIISP has to try and see this one away. REZEARS waiting for RYSFOX. Nice touch down. There isn't going to be an orange player to beat REZEARS at the back lines, though.
It will be a testament to both sides. Respectively, how do you handle, how do you get this progress in the situation here? It will be sniped on out here. Now you've noticed the side in blue sitting with a two-man deep. In fact, a third one. That should be a goal.
Oh!
And unfortunately, anguish on the face. Yelps from Psycho. We'll tell you exactly that here under the minute now. That could have been game, set, ready for championship point here, but we are now under the minute now, still within a 2-1, and it will be the youngster here from France trying to grab the goal, but that fails to convert once more.
And this is all RYSFOX to try and work out a little bit of magic himself. A nice 50 downfield. KAYDOP in hot pursuit. And now he's just going to back off for the time being. CHAUSETTE infield. Where is that last defender, Danny? They've gone missing in action. And KAYDOP has just led his team forwards to victory in this here battle.
He's done it again. The man that has sat there and has seen some of the best will be looking at that and sort of tilting and saying, is that what you disgrace me with? He wants a challenge, but he doesn't want to be gifted a freebie, but he'll take it nonetheless. Champions don't care how it goes, they care about the trophy itself. And there, once again, OT could be where we shall lie. Well, a case that requires this to remain here, and Noah's not happy. Neither is REZEARS, and KAYDOP is playing for the OT here.
We saw what happened the last time OT was played for. It didn't quite pan out as well as RYSFOX might have liked, and there was one last chance there, which could have been dangerous.
Sometimes, just sometimes, when even just when the game looks like it's gone behind you and you're chasing here, how much infliction of pain is delivered here. There is always hope, and KAYDOP and CHAUSETTE has shown that. Such a difficult game here, but they are being squashed and pillaged here at the back lines here, and CHAUSETTE's made a mistake, bumped it, go shot wide, and just like that, 30 seconds of pressure, they are holding on, but they've got about 3 phases of play before conceding.
This has pretty much been RYSFOX's story of the night. Just take advantage of that possession game and let the individual work really see your way through to a win. As now REZEARS, one of those playmakers, takes that 100 booster, missed touch at the back lines, but it's not going to do any damage whatsoever. KAYDOP definitely playing a long game, but KAYDOP is going to try and do it alone. NOAHSAKI through the skies, jumps early, the ball comes across, but just saved away there from REZEARS. There's one more chance potentially in the game, and CHAUSETTE has somehow found a save.
Somehow he would be insulted by the insinuation that he wasn't, and LUIISP shot. REZEARS in the wrong position, and KAYDOP just sits there, waggles his finger, just says no on that one. We continue to keep this battle going, and it will be KAYDOP. Another defensive save required to sit in the right position to get something soft flicked here. The man who has been down sits as the first line of defense here, and he will get no joy in terms of that because his shot hasn't went out.
This is a chance now for Noah, over to the backboard. Where is that follow-up? LUIISP is always there, and what a 50-50 it was. Simply no hope given.
But when you have run out of boost and it's essentially a double commit that's cost you, KAYDOP, CHAUSETTE, they'll be maybe looking at themselves and going, that's the problem. But again, that doesn't get you game victories. And so far, 4-0 to losing 1-2, 2-0, 1-2, and a 3-2 victory. Yeah, one game away here from taking out a 3-time world champion.
This is where it gets difficult. This is the end game. One last game doesn't sound like too big of a challenge when you condense it down to just 5 minutes of play, but there are bigger things weighing on the minds of these players. RYSFOX, we've seen how that sort of nerves in the dying seconds of individual games can really, really challenge them. And honestly, I fear for them coming into this final games. They need to keep that hat on of stability, trying to play things nice and safe, play for that possession and just work through their strengths, because one overstep and KAYDOP, they fight back and they fight back quick.
Well, we are potentially 5 minutes away for the last ever Rendezvous, 14 editions where we have sat here, and earlier in the day we talked about the KAYDOP factor itself here. They, in the 8 attempts they have, played twice, reaching the top 6. Semi-finalist, of course, twice, runner-up once, and has won it 3 times. The most decorated team of this tournament is potentially to be beaten again with a side who's already won it once here, looking to do it twice.
And here we go, as the players just about ready themselves up for what is potentially the final game of the Rendezvous series, the entirety of this event that has been hosted for you. It's going to be a magical end you can expect if the rest of these games play out as has done so far. I just hope they can hold their nerves.
It has been one of those ones where quite easily a mistake's going to cost you, but when the game for half of it is 0-0 and suddenly the fireworks suddenly moves across and it gets teetered and shows across here. Noah's shot will go wide, and that's a LUIISP's first real scutter of a shot here in Chausette. No flip reset, will try to aim for a double, and KAYDOP, bottom left, placement and a half, and the 3-time champion looking to make it 4.
And it's such a nice finish, LUIISP. He's got a lot of coverage in that wide old goal of his, but it's just been snuck away into the bottom left. KAYDOP, one of those players throughout history who you might favour as being one of the shooters you would want in that situation, has done himself justice.
If you were building the perfect player, that would be one attribute you would look at and say, that's the man. He has been the man. But can he have the king to his crown, his castle? And unfortunately, the kingdom is under threat here. They are, of course, looking to be expelled and excommunicated out of it. Of course, no bump onto it. Still, of course, on the attacking ascendancy.
Plenty of width from the orange side right now, just everywhere surrounding the court, but a counter-attack chance is given. This is where RYSFOX shine, but the ball immediately conceded. RYSFOX downfield, it's down off the crossbar, and REZEARS is going to take his sweet, sweet time after that near miss.
LUIISP beaten, KAYDOP just went for it. So is the response, so is the side of orange. Looking to maybe prowl and growl, but the bark is not there yet. Yeah, they're just snarling away. Will they take the shot there? That's the first real attempt here. Now the counter with LUIISP. The youngster may have made a mistake here. Now it's the experience at the back end to bail them out here. And that Chausette save bumped away, and KAYDOP has to sit back post here. Would have loved to be challenging them sooner.
And then no matter how much sort of hustling they do to find those bumps, RYSFOX upfield, it's not going to mean much if you can't put a shot on target. Here's a potential for one. REZEARS down, and Chausette just waiting so patiently. It's been a massive difference maker to make sure REZEARS really thinks twice.
Chausette gets a play that is just to slow the game down, deliberate at that too. And Smokes and I, in the last of this Rendezvous and slightly earlier today, talked about the difference of the pace of the game, and when you adapt it well and have that moment to make the other side looking foolish. It wasn't an offensive play that time around. Now we see everything else grind into a painful halt into this corner until we see that ball finally launch itself free.
Nice touch high from LUIISP, but nobody there to follow, and what a demo to open up a little bit of space. The last time Chausette was here, he had KAYDOP in the ranks to filter through and put one in. As now RYSFOX is just having to wait. Chausette perfectly positioned, and the ball, hopefully for the orange side, pushing back downfield.
A bit shaky there for the side that has the advantage of essentially the last safety now. Making a mistake here, they're only trailing by 1 there. Not a side that trails often by big numbers, mind you. They're normally the ones causing the infliction in the first place. So set now. getting a clean pass into him. No block either. REZEARS has to tip this one away. Third man challenge was a lot risky by KAYDOP, but he has fancied it. And this, however, still keeping possession. This is smart here by the French lineup.
KAYDOP. Well, he's been told to K stop. REZEARS is there, and he's here to do some damage of his own. He's trying to catch a flip reset. RYSFOX already pre-jumping up. It's so difficult to deal with, but KAYDOP is there to filter a touch through to the corner as the bumps keep on seeing their way through.
REZEARS, when they were in the middle of the pitch, would be ideal here, but he has been the type to keep sessions to himself to a bare minimum. That will be CHAUSETTE's touch, not a strong woman, but it is possessing in terms of having a presence nearby, and it's just trying to force the mistake here. But we've been here before, and we are getting to the side here where KAYDOP and CHAUSETTE, are they able to hold defensively? Oh. And the answer is no, but it is RYSFOX with the yes, however. 30 seconds and under, and we were nearly virtually seconds away from seeing arguably the greatest blunder.
They want a game 7 so badly. They are working so hard at the back just to keep it away. CHAUSETTE trying to take his time. You can see he doesn't want to just smash the ball forwards, and what a pre-jump it is from KAYDOP to see away the danger. He's completely blind to the player to his right, but still had the heads up thinking to try and see that one away as RYSFOX just settles it down. 0 seconds. Surely it's done and dusted.
You would sincerely hope so, but it is eventually knocked to the ground. A 1-0 scoreline, the lowest game itself. And that's when the defence holds with a tight team with a deep third line base showing itself. But arguably it's not just a third man psycho, it's a 2-man psycho. And it's arguably one of the most greatest tacticians in the form of CHAUSETTE, and the world's arguably one of the most decorated players. A game 7, that was almost a guarantee. It's just the problem which way it was going to go.
Yeah, and who do you favour for that game 7? I think that's the difficult thing, because no matter how much I might be comparing the heights of both sides, I think it's so difficult to call. RYSFOX, when they have taken a game, they have had that sort of presence of mind to really put a stub in any efforts that KAYDOP have put forwards. When KAYDOP, on the other hand, have taken a victory, it's not been so clean. It's been by the scruff of their neck and the skin of their teeth. Game 7, it really is all to play for.
Certainly so. We're two sides who have showing a stamp of excellency throughout Europe in the entirety of 14 weeks of the Rendez-Vous. The tournament sponsored, of course, by Psyonix. Of course, the NA version, the draw, will have their particular say. Saltmine we have mentioned already before, and talking about 1s, 2s and sort of 3s itself in terms of particular game modes and the versatility of players. Now it's the mental side of the game here. Who's able to hold? Who wants it more? And our social media manager, as the opening said, trying to be very cheeky. Can 3 turns into 4? Can he finally do it? Well, that's a big question. He's got the save to do so, and the ball eventually down on the other half.
The potential 4-time champion of the Rendez-Vous to be just lurking on that left-hand side. He's pushed the ball infield, and a nice touch from NOAHSAKI. Surely it's only 1, and it was. Here comes RYSFOX. If he does have that flip, he can throw it infield, but it's actually just paid off. He didn't mean to miss that particular touch, but it's been the case downfield. NOAHSAKI, where has he come from to try and find a chance of his own? Nobody knows, but the ball still failing to find the back of the net.
Successfully defended, some would argue. This is where some of us a long time ago would describe this as Irish defending. Just get it out and argue about it much later. The great philosophy of Brian Clough's Nottingham Forest, but we're not talking about football quite literally. Nobody has stuck in a 2-footed challenge, but who will have the studs to go forward here? That one hasn't gone through. 90 seconds gone by, and we're teetering once again. A goalless game at that too.
All hanging in the balance, and REZEARS is pushing it in his favour. He's won the battle, and what a crucial one it turned out to be. LUIISP, he's just always there, isn't he? From that midfield area, has filtered his way through. Perfect.
And it will be the youngster, RYSFOX, who will be guilty of the mistake, though. Could have done so much more positionally, and that's what we talk about, experience. The likes of Noah and LUIISP, yes, we're talking about them as like they're newcomers. They're far from it, and that's arguably a fabulous goal of the German, showing not only precision and control, a heartless mentality, and it was a self-bump as well to make matters worse.
What on earth is that goal? Oh, I think if we look at all of the shots and all of the individual brilliance we've seen today, that was probably right up there. Talk about showing your face in the game when matters most. REZEARS has been put quiet before this grand finals, but right now he is hungry to see this through with ease.
Weight of gold. Emotionally, your heart's in the right place, but can you control it? Can you also show the mechanical worth as well? And the first game was a 4-0 thrashing, and it took so long to get there. This might be the closing chapter, and it is maybe symmetry at best.
Unfortunately, nerves got the better of that third man in RYSFOX, I think there. He dove forwards and he tried so hard to fish that ball out of defence and just get up early, be dangerous in the face of your opposition, and it did not pay off. It was the polar opposite. What a touch that is to try and really make up for prior mistakes, though.
Still half a game, mind you. One chance, of course. You do not want to leave the pitch itself, mind you, knowing that you can still have done something about it. That will be the frustrating factor. You have to forget about the mistakes and focus on the presence here. One defender is only REZEARS. That's a statement only. Well, he has to get past them, of course. Eventually, this ball spills down back to Noah after a few phases of play. And another quick challenge. And we had Spook saying, oh, it's an eco challenge. He's quite literally right this time. 2 minutes left, but the game truly done.
And two very, very well-established legacy talents, as we've been calling them, just threw themselves at that ball. They were desperate. That 3-goal deficit was nothing to scoff at, and they knew it. They needed to do something. But time and time again, when they do put that extra man forwards, that extra little bit of fear factor to their play, it so often has gone wrong for them here.
KAYDOP's not able to generate power this time around, and it is just showing that the old horse can only run so often, but not the last mile itself here. Cruelty. The French may have thought it was quite literally their day or their moment here. 5-0 comes in with a bit of style and flair, and just like this here, there could be a future for this side.
NOAHSAKI is very sneaky. I don't know if you recall from previous series where he had some magical reads in field, pre-jumping up in that midfield as the ball just flies around the corner, but he's done it again. He was up before that ball had even come in field. They know they have this in the bag.
Yeah, and at 1-0 you thought maybe at 2 you go, okay, it's getting difficult at 3 there. You can understand why the 2 most experienced players on the pitch in terms of actually governing wins can force a challenge, and suddenly 4 comes into 5, 6 could easily appear, and you suddenly just see a championship win slip from your fingers.
Is heartbreaking sometimes, as there is going to be one put forward from KAYDOP. Listen, I think 4 goals is a bit of a big deal, but nonetheless they have found it.
Well, if this was an old team stream back in the day, it used to be "we believe." Thankfully, we're neutrals on this one here, and not to hide behind the magic curtain or the mystique of the mystery. This one has been done for some time, but it's 3 Frenchmen, as you say, they're the ones that got to believe, and frankly, by the way they're playing, they're just playing the timeouts here.
They're playing still with absolute care and attention to the way they're going about the pitch, though. They do want to craft something in that ball in field. Has met NOAHSAKI, he's going for a backwards reset and just flopping around like a fish through the skies once again. LUIISP over to his own back corner, and it really is just a victory lap at the moment from REZEARS, and it's been non-stop stellar from them all day long.
You have to say it has been an impressive performance. A 7-game series, but Psycho, we do have a champions and they're in blue. I'll let you have the honours for the last ever.
Rendez-Vous comes to a conclusion with maybe one final touch. NOAHSAKI, there it is. And REZEARS is actually just going to keep it alive for the time being. Maybe put a 6 forwards as well. And this side is one to look out for. Throughout the entirety, almost, of the off-season, the past months that have gone by, and ever since the real unveil of this Rendez-Vous series, this was one of the teams that we thought could make their way through to being stars of the future, to being talents that could push themselves forwards to what is unannounced and to come after these moments here. And to see them do it at the very, very final events we host here, RYSFOX are your champions of the 14th and the final Rendez-Vous.
They are deserving champions, and KAYDOP, unfortunately, runner-up once again. Not unfortunately making it 4, but just like that there, deserving at that there, very much deserve it. But there's very little to be in fairness to say or try to analyze the series. You can just sit back and appreciate the beauty of the series in its own regards. And we wish for more. We've always have done so when we finish one of these, but sadly, 14 and done. But a series scoreline of, for anybody who has just tuned in, 4-0, 2-1, 2-0, 2-1, 3-2, 1-0, and 5-1 respectively, going back and forth. It was a decent series, but as we say, what a performance.
What a performance. There's very little else to say, and I wonder who's sort of going to have on their bingo cards going forwards RYSFOX as being the next top dogs, potentially, to take on the very, very highest heights of the European scene. It's been so impressive for them, and the consistency we've seen from both of these teams, I think it's fair to say, has been unlike any other teams we've seen. So it's a fitting conclusion, I think, to the final one of these tournaments that we've hosted. KAYDOP clearly have a bright future ahead of them as well, and those 3 players, if they don't pick up a big org and go places when it comes to that fight for future, I don't know who will.
Well, unfortunately, the fight at the Rendezvous, sadly, there is no more, but a potential RLCS season to be announced, of course. Who and where, and of course, who will, of course, be a world champion. We've seen the likes of Zen and Vitality do theirs. Europe, generally speaking, always do so well. Always comes out on top, we would say. Smug as a region, but we're not talking about that. We unfortunately have to thank everybody who has tuned in for all 14 here on the Rocket, to all the staff and administration of Rocket Baguette who has put the time, the effort from scene to admins. They have done such an excellent work here, and to everybody in terms of the cast and crew who has seen the likes of Digital Bacon, Boyo Royo, Tylacto, who has came on here, and tonight alone, who has 2 fellow coaches that I've shared the booth with in the forums of Spooks and Psycho, who's looking for teams if you're interested. Of course, their Twitters are going to be announced, so hop on today. They don't want me to announce that, but come on, pick them up, of course. And of course, our fabulous broadcasters, the efforts here, the likes of Bunswa, Potter, and of course, Paul Shepard. A lot of effort, a lot of time goes into it, but the biggest thank you as well to Psyonix, who sponsored it. But it wouldn't be a community without everybody tuning in and taking part. But from all of us here from the Rocket, and I suppose as well the Rocket Baguette in English this time, thank you very much. But it is, unfortunately, good night and goodbye. Stay safe until next time.